Mythical Pokemon. Those special Pokemon that have slowly become nothing more than just an afterthought with every single generation that passed. In every new game that comes out, we wonder if there will be something done about them, if there will be something special that just makes us care about them again. Will we see mythical events like in Gen 4 with Shaymin and Darkrai, even like in BDSP when we saw those plus the Arceus mythical event we were too dumb to understand in the past. But then we snap back to reality and realize that the chances are minimal. In fact, will they even release a mythical Pokemon for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet? But there's always hope. So hey, I'm Not So Ace Trainer, and what about mythical Pokemon? Let's get into it. Before every new game ever since I started the channel 2 years ago, I asked the mythical question. And I've done it for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet before the release of the games. Look, there's even the no leaks thing there, because I don't talk about leaks here, I don't like being lazy. So, the games came out and, up until now, there's not even a slight evidence that there will even be a mythical Pokemon in this generation. Or maybe there is, we just haven't really explored it or found it. And for the longest time, this would seal the deal, but recently we've seen Pokemons being added to the game out of nowhere. We recently saw that with Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. But going back to mythical Pokemon, what are those? Mythical Pokemon, to put it in a very simple way, are the rarest of them all. The Pokemon that, just like legendaries, are barely ever seen in the Pokemon world. But the difference is, most people don't even believe they are real, hence the mythical part. They were always supposed to be part of Pokemon, since the concept of illusory monsters was already part of Satoshi Tajiri's Capsule Monsters pitch. They even sparked myths in real life, like the Mew under the truck myth we all knew back in the day. But many things through the ages have made this way of defining mythical Pokemon less accurate. For example, while we only have one Zarude available, technically they're said to live in packs in the mountains. Fiona is also a Pokemon that is, well, not that rare after you start breeding Manaphy, and you even see multiples in Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's why there are sources for it being and not being a mythical. But ignoring that, the same goes for Melton and the sheer amount of those you can catch in Pokemon Go, which wouldn't mean anything if the lore of those Pokemon didn't actually tell us that a lot of them exist. Things get even weirder after you realize that Koraidon and Miraidon fit the mythical description to a T, even though they are referred to by the games as legendary Pokemon. Koraidon and Miraidon are rare, so they fit the whole rarity part of it, but like mythical Pokemon, not many people believe in them. They are part of the Scarlet and Violet books, and those are deemed to be make-believe, they're fiction. So even though we're riding around in that Pokemon through the whole region, it fits the whole mythical category. But it is a legendary, and that's when the whole mythical definition stops making sense for the Gen 9 games. So, well, I can't make Koraidon and Miraidon the mythical Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet. And they already called Terapagos and Ogerpon legendary Pokemon. I'm assuming the rest of the bunch will be like sub-legendaries or something, so that only leaves us with the Baby Turtle. It's no secret that they used to love designing the mythical Pokemon as cute little things. I mean Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, the list goes on and on. There's some exceptions of course, I mean Deoxys and Zarude are not really what you'd call typical cute, and Darkrai is quite literally the stuff of nightmares, but for the most part they kept to the theme. And so the Baby Turtle fits right in with the bunch. Some things though would make it kind of a weird mythical. I speculate that we have many of these Baby Turtles going around and that maybe we already even have it inside our Terra Orb. So there are a lot of them. And the turtle seems to be connected to Terapagos, a legendary Pokemon. While these things together are strange for a mythical Pokemon, we already had, like I mentioned before, Melton, Fiona and Zarude as multiples of the same mythical, and Keldeo, another mythical Pokemon that is also connected to the Swords of Justice, which are legendary, sub-legendary Pokemon. This would also coincide with another theme we used to sometimes see in the mythical Pokemon for the first few generations. They were disconnected, but also connected to the story. They weren't vital to the plot, but you could see how they would fit there. They would fit the theme of the games. In Gen 1, there wasn't a lot of lore behind things, and the most memorable of it all was of course Mewtwo, an enhanced clone. A scientific miracle, something one could call a natural. The opposite of Mew, which is a life form that has existed for many years. Mew was representing that which was natural, unchanged by human greed, something innocent. Then in Gen 2, the games that focused more on the past, that brought lore to the Pokemon world while also sporting themes of modernization versus tradition, we have Celebi, a mythical Pokemon that can travel through time. It can go to when it wants to go, to see the modern and the traditional. In Gen 3, land versus water, the world at the brink of destruction. Just like it is happening in our world in situations like that, where the climate can destroy us, be it heavy rain or intense sun, we try to find an answer beyond the skies, like the people from the Moss Deep Space Center, and the mythical Pokemon are Deoxys, an alien, and Jirachi, some kind of star. After this, of course, we can see how Arceus would fit the story of Gen 4 and all that, but apart from that, they weren't as deeply connected to the theme of the games as much. We could argue that Keldeo growing up and going on a journey alone, Meloetta losing its melody and then recovering it, as well as Genesect being molded into whatever Team Plasma wanted, fit the end story though, which is actually pretty cool. And with this connection in mind, we could tie the baby turtle to another overarching theme in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, that being the theme of treasure, all the kinds of treasure that you can find. And the baby turtle kinda looks like treasure, but it isn't the only treasure in the games. Yes, mythical Pokemon used to be mostly cute and the turtle is cute, but not all of them are. And we do have another instance of treasure in these games like I said, and those are the treasures of ruin. These Pokemon are something incredibly weird and mysterious that just don't have that much going on for them apart from the King's story. And the treasures in the story were passed from person to person before they were sealed. No one alive had seen this Pokemon until we decided to, very responsibly, free these calamities that brought the kingdom down from their slumber within the shrines. So they might have gotten the story wrong or incomplete. They have it in their name though, they're treasures, and just like the Swords of Justice had a fourth member, there might also be a fifth treasure. One that was never sold to the king or that the king was so obsessed with that he never even revealed it. Imagine Rhyford finding a strange scroll that has information on it, a mystery gift event item, and then sending us on a journey to find whatever that scroll is talking about. That would make for a fantastic continuation for the in-game mythical events that we got in Legends Arceus and in the Crown Tundra. But in the end, mythical Pokemon were also connected to Pokemon movies, and there hasn't been one since the last mythical Pokemon was announced, and that was in 2020 in Japan and 2021 in the rest of the world with Secrets of the Jungle and Zarude. With Ash out of the picture and a whole new anime in front of us, we don't know how they will approach both mythical Pokemon and Pokemon movies in the future. So who knows how things will truly be going forward. And that is all I have for you today. I think mythical Pokemon will never go away, and I think the mythical Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet will have something to do with treasure. But in the end, it is all up in the wind. But what about you? Do you want mythical Pokemon back? Do you want the mythical events back? And do you think we'll get them? Let me know in the comments down below. And now like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. You can follow me on social media and Twitch, I stream there Wednesday to Sunday, not Saturday, or join our Discord, all the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all on the next one.